Hey, what's going on? This is Ash Kumra, the creator of the Confessions for an Entrepreneur show from the Kraft Network, and we're gonna have an awesome conversation about how to become a likable expert. So I thought it would be really cool to bring one of my friends, who in my opinion is one of the most likable people I've ever met, and he's also an expert. He's also a successful author. He also has an awesome show called The Fear Lacquer Show, and he's just someone who really gets this topic. So Peter, could you tell us a little about what it takes to become a likable expert?
Absolutely, Ash. Thank you for having me on this show. This is my passion. So what does it take to become a likable expert? There's three things that I think. You see, we live in a society today where we're kind of sick of the people that seem so perfect. Like the people that have everything together, that project this sense of perfection that isn't real. So the first thing is being real. Like being real about not just what you're great at as an expert, but also the challenges that you have, the fears that you're facing, the times when you doubt yourself. The reason is because that makes you as an expert more relatable to your audience. You're no longer on a pedestal. You actually are just like everyone that's following you. So that's number one. Number two is raw. We want to see raw emotion. We don't want to see something that's boring and cookie cutter anymore. We live in a society where we want things that are edgy. So when you show up real and you show up raw, you become this likable expert that people want to spend time with, that people want to learn from. And the final thing is relevancy. If you're just real and raw and insanely vulnerable and sharing really personal stuff, but you don't teach a lesson through it, then it's not relevant to your audience and people kind of get turned off by it. But when you make it relevant, when you actually take maybe a painful experience that you're facing and you share authentically and vulnerably about it, and you teach a lesson that your listener and your viewer can learn from, then you become relatable. So it's real, it's raw, and it's relevant. Those are the three secrets, the three keys, and I credit a man who's a mentor of mine named Garrett White who introduced me to this code, because there are so many quote-unquote experts out there and most people you ignore. It's the real, the raw, and the relevant ones that you and I pay attention to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Folks, I think what he just said it sums it up. I mean, at the end of the day, you have the gift to become the most likable person, and you have the gift to become a likable expert in whatever you choose to do. So do us a favor. Get inspired by this video. Send us someone who you feel is a likable expert that you look up to, and we will personally take a look at it and we will give you some feedback. Once again, thank you so much for checking out this special segment of Confessions for Entrepreneur here on the Kraft Network. Make sure to master your passion.